John Torque's life flashed before his eyes on July 22, 2022. At about 2 a.m., the local truck driver said he was on his way to work on his motorcycle heading southbound on Northeast Martin Luther King Boulevard in Portland. As he was about to turn into his usual Dutch Brothers at the intersection with Northeast Lloyd to pick up a coffee, the unexpected happened.
It was like a shark hit me. Something hit me from behind, boom. And I looked down and I was basically sitting on a hood of a car. And this guy's shoving me out over onto the bridge. And then before I really knew what happened next, I was underneath the passenger side of the vehicle and he was driving over top of me.
According to Torque, multiple bystanders saw the whole incident happen, but did not get a license plate number of the car that hit him. Despite having a helmet and full protective riding gear, Torque was severely injured. He says people nearby raced to help him as he was lying on the Northeast MLK Bridge over I-84.
So after the guy ran me over, I rolled over and tried to sit up, and that's when my hips, everything was on fire, which then later I found out I had over 40 broken bones.
Torque says he was in the hospital for over a month and had multiple surgeries. In addition to broken bones, Torque says the trauma from the accident damaged his kidneys so severely, doctors put him on dialysis due to risk of death due to kidney failure. During his recovery, Torque collected disability payments, which strained his family financially.
It took me about 6 months to recover. So at home, everything was just going to shambles, trying to keep bills paid, disability payments being really behind. You go from working and having a normal life to all of a sudden you get a third of your money.
A year and a half later, and Torque's hit-and-run crash remains unsolved. Portland police tell us there simply wasn't enough video evidence at this intersection where the accident happened, and witness statements have not produced enough promising leads. Torque's case was one of many that went unsolved in Portland in 2022 in terms of hit-and-run crashes. According to PPB data we obtained, of the 6,791 hit-and-run crash reports filed that year, only 1.2% of those cases were solved, resulting in 88 arrests. 2022 having one of the lowest number of arrests in hit-and-run cases in Portland in recent years. According to PPB data, 2018 saw 6,693 hit-and-run reports with 2.5% of cases solved. In 2019, 6,634 hit-and-run reports with 2% of cases solved, and a slight improvement in 2020 with 2.3% of cases solved and 1.9% solved in 2021, the low of 1.2% of cases solved in 2022, and looking at 2023, a slight improvement to 1.5% of cases solved. Given this pattern, we asked a spokesperson for PPB on why an overwhelming majority of hit-and-run cases aren't solved.
When we're looking at just data of hit-and-run cases in the city, since 2019, less than 2.5% of hit-and-run cases have been solved every year since 2019. What's the explanation for that?
Well, hit and run cases are difficult to solve. A lot of times we'll have people say, well, I gave you a plate or a partial plate, so you must be able to solve it. The problem is you can't get a conviction with just a plate number. That's a lead, but it takes a lot more than that. We have to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the person that we believe committed that crime was driving the car at that time.
Sergeant Kevin Allen says currently there are 4 officers and 1 sergeant in PPB's Traffic Investigations Unit tasked with investigating serious crashes like fatal accidents and hit-and-runs. Allen says there are also 12 officers and 2 sergeants tasked with patrolling Portland streets on behalf of the Traffic Division, watching out for and stopping reckless drivers. Allen says all hit-and-run cases are reviewed by the Traffic Division, but follow-up with every case, especially if there are not promising leads, is limited because of the sheer number of hit-and-run reports filed.
We do have to do our best to prioritize our response. The demand for our services is far greater than the resources that we have, and so we get really good at trying to prioritize as best we can.
For John Torque, he's made a full recovery and says despite feeling some anger towards the person who nearly killed him a year and a half ago, he's looking ahead, grateful to be alive, to be a dad to his teenage son, and getting back to work.
What's it like for you knowing that this has never been solved?
Even when I was in the hospital, I I said, this isn't about this guy. This guy's going to have to answer up. He'll have his time where he has to answer up for it.